Welcome back to another Holdfast Nations of War SDK tutorial. In this video we'll be going over how to set up the army conquest spawn and capture points. So the first thing we need to do is enable it, so let's click on it in the hierarchy and then click on the check mark. And now it's enabled, let's raise it above our terrain. If you've watched the army siege setup, then this is very similar, so you'll be able to follow along pretty quickly. But the only difference is we have some spawn nodes for both teams rather than just one. So to set up these spawn nodes, it's the exact same of setting up the Army Assault and Army Battlefield game mode. So we're just going to select them in the player spawn areas here and going over to the south camp, selecting both of these, and then just simply move them over to the camp. So I'm going to do it pretty rough just because we've already done this, and then do the same for the other two. So now that the team spawns are set up, we can go into setting up the actual capture points for the Conquest game mode. So let's start with the capture points rather than the spawn section. So let's close out of this, go into the capture points here, and as you see we have two capture points. We have windmill and plains, and then we'll also make another one. So let's make the tree hill a capture point again. So let's do tree hill by renaming it in the hierarchy and then moving it over to here. Okay, that looks good. And then we will also do another capture point on... let's do it on this hill. We'll do it on this hill for now. Cool. So we can rename this to the other hill. Okay, so now we've done that, we need to actually set the spawn section. So let's do that really quickly. So we have the windmill one, which is currently linked to the tree hill. So let's call that tree hill, and then we're just going to move that over to the tree hill capture point. So people will spawn there when they spawn in. Okay, that looks good. So now we can do the same for the other hill. Rename that other hill. Okay. So one thing we need to do, which I forgot to say, was we need to rename them in the section names. So let's call this the other hill, and then for the tree hill we'll rename that to tree hill. Cool. And you can change the picture if you want to, but I'm going to leave them for now. So there we go, that'll work. If you now play it in game, that'll work perfectly. But let's make another capture point on the other hill. So to do that, we go to the spawn section capture points. So let's go to the tree hill and duplicate that one. And then we're going to move it over to the hill over here. I'm going to put it here for now. And then we need to make sure we give it a unique identifier in the options. Let's give it 4. And then we're going to rename it to the nice hill. And then we need to give the spawn section to it. So let's duplicate the tree hill spawn section. And then give the identifier 4. And then we're going to raise it. Okay, and we can rotate it if you want to. And now we're going to rename it to Nice Hill. And we'll do the same in the hierarchy over here. Okay, so now that will work. We will be able to go in game and actually capture all of these points and then spawn on them. In the next video, we'll be going over how to actually playtest your map before uploading it to Steam.